Hey everyone, I'm back here with my Hemlock Oak 2022 planner in this Pollen Joe cover. So it's like just as a follow-up. I don't know about you folks, but every time I get a brand new planner or notebook, like the first thing that I write inside makes me super nervous. Like I feel like almost that it sets up whether good things are going to happen or bad things are going to happen with this planner. And so I was super nervous to write anything inside. So what I did, instead of like actually write any kind of entries in here, was I did a swatch test. As you can see, here's a little preview of some of the ghosting that happened with some of the pens. It's actually pretty good. This paper is thick. According to the wrap that was around it, it's an 80-pound or 120 GSM paper. So it is very smooth, very easy to write on. And the ghosting you see here actually is from an oil-based pen. And this here is from a Sharpie S-Note highlighter pen, which I went double kind of like really hard on it. So let's turn to the other page and let's take a look. Oh, I'm sorry. This is just my pencil board here, just a little dirty from frequent use. But okay, so let's turn over here. Okay, so this is the swatch test that I did here. First, I started off with the Acro Ball. So these typically tend to dry pretty quickly. When I use my Hobonichi though, this one still would like kind of smear a little bit when it came to highlighting. And actually the only one that showed any kind of smearing whatsoever was the Shikiori, which is like a brush pen. Which sometimes I do occasionally use for highlighting. I mean, I have the mild liner. Let me show it really quick here. So it's this one here, this beautiful brush pen on one side, and then there's a fine tip on the other. It is super fine though, so it's really hard to see on like the Hobonichi paper. Comes out really light. It's much darker. This paper is more absorbent than the Hobonichi is. Next I did the Uni Jetstream. And just like with the Hobonichi, everything worked perfectly. These I just pretty much wrote the words, put the pen down, grabbed the pen, the highlighter, uncapped it, highlighted, and recapped it. And I did the same thing for every single one. So I used the Sharpie S-Note first, a mild liner, a milk liner, which I found on Amazon, a Stabilo highlighter, a Propus highlighter, Shikiori brush pen, and finally a friction, and just in different colors, so it makes it a little bit more visually interesting. Next was this Pilot BP-S. Now, for those of you who may remember, I should say, it's kind of these sort of fun yet generic type of pens. I had these when I was in like grade school, and there was something about them I really loved, so I ended up buying a few. And unfortunately, with this paper, I guess, I'm not sure why, but it skips a lot. So I don't think I'll be using it in here, maybe on stickers or something, but definitely not directly in here. But again, this one dried really quickly, highlighted without a problem. Broke it up, just decided to use some of the colored pens I have here. Happy to say that the Zebra Click Art, it doesn't soak through and it doesn't spread. Also, it dries super quick because of the paper's absorbency. One of the problems I had with the Hobonichi paper is that it wouldn't, well, the good thing is it wouldn't spread. It wouldn't soak through, but it also took forever to dry if it dried at all. So it always smudged. And so with this paper here, I just wrote on it, wiped it, and it was completely dry already. So I'm happy to say that I'll be able to use these pens on this paper. This is the Uni Emote, or Emote, whatever. This very beautiful thin fine line stick pens. For those of you who don't know, this is what they look like. One thing I don't really care for when using it with like the Hobonichi paper is that it pools. You can see a little bit of the pooling here at the ends where when you write your pen and it settles at the bottom, but it's not as bad as with the Hobonichi paper. So I may use this. I'm not sure if that's going to bother me, but we'll see. This is a generic pen set that I got off of Amazon. I know it looks kind of like the Precise pens, I believe, but it there's a bunch of different colors on here, so I just wanted to try that. And then finally, the Stadler Tri-Plus fine liner. That also went on without an issue, and this one also with my Hobonichi, I've never had an issue with that, so that's good. The next three pens I failed to realize as I was writing, they're all pilots. The Energel, the Juice Up, and the High Tech C. So their inks kind of went very similar as far as being very smeary when highlighting on them. And I even did one with a long dry time. So this was about, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes, I think. I didn't actually time it, but I did some other stuff while I just wrote long dry time, and then I did like some of the stuff down, all this stuff down here. So it was about 2-3 minutes, and I re-highlighted with the Propus, and these were still a little smudgy. This one came out real smudgy, unfortunately. So they did write very, very smooth and very nicely. So if you're not highlighting, these are amazing. These were amazing pens to write with. It just felt really nice with the paper. As were these two as well, by the way. I did the Sailor Fude Tip fountain pen, the Bic Gelosity 0.7 tip, and a Deliveries rollerball pen. This has fountain pen ink inside, and as you can see, there's no ghosting at all on the back of the page or where the fountain pen is. So it does tolerate fountain pens really nicely, and again, it dries super quick. The Sakura Ball Sign ID pen, it's kind of similar in feel to writing with the Energel, but I would say this was a 0.7 tip, so it was thick. It's thicker, and it actually does write a lot smoother, so I really did like it. This one, on the long dry time, this one dried really well, and I didn't smudge at all when I went back over with it, so I was really happy with that. The rest of them, I just kind of did just writing the Sharpie felt tip pen, the Kuretake drawing pen, Autographic. These are the oil-based pens that I showed earlier that had kind of the soak-through on there. And then this generic gel pen. I got that from Daiso, I believe. So yeah, there's really no brand to it. I wrote a mechanical pencil with a 3B and then a 2B 0.3 both with Tombow Mono pencils, and then this other generic pen from Daiso. This is sort of like their oil-based Uni Jetstream or Acro Ball equivalent. Very, very nice to write with as well. The Bic Gelosity 0.5, and then finally this new pen that I found is called the Friction Fine Liner. It's thinner than the Friction. I'm trying to find it now. I don't have it on my desk right now. It's thinner than the Friction. I'm trying to think. Color pen, the regular color pens. But it has sort of like a felt. It has a felt tip, so it's not like the normal rollerball pens that you have with the Friction. But it does have a little bit of that pooling, but not too bad. But not sure. I only bought a brown and a pink. I just wanted to try it. I'm not a super big fan of Friction, to be honest, so I just bought a couple to see. But I kind of like it. I'm still on the fence. But anyway, guys, so this is the swatch test I did with a whole bunch of pens. I know I have more, but like for the rest of them that I do have, either I hardly use them or I know that they'll work just fine. But these are the ones that either I use the most or want to use, such as the Zebra Click Arts and the Uni Emot pens. And these black pens are the ones that I use the most on a daily basis, along with mechanical pencils and all these other types. So I just wanted to test them out, see how the paper tolerated it, and now I don't feel so scared to write anything else, because I know that when I write in here, as long as I don't use these oil-based suckers or like highlight really hard, then I think everything should be good to go with any entry I make in the future. All right, guys, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.